right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
One Ounce, episode 2.
All right, we've got ourselves a professional versus a 1 ounce trick pitcher.
Kojima versus Toa, and for $400,000.
Yeah, 400K is something rather serious as far as money goes. But not only that, this is something where you cleared out the relief pitcher easily, sure.
Yeah.
But was this your plan all along? Now you end up getting the opportunity to make 400K. He will actually be able to pay it probably. But you know, what do you need all that money for?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And will he actually be able to beat Kojima? Because based on whether or not he beats Kojima, that'll set the tone for the kind of the show of who needs to learn the most and like how much are they equals versus like you know, like with the rivalry and things like that. But okay, here we are.
Yeah, here we are. We've got ourselves pretty much a good flow here of, you know, kind of the commentary peanut gallery kind of classic thing from older anime stories in general, by having our trainer and then the lady managing this whole thing.
Yeah.
Kind of making sure we understand kind of the flow of what's going on. But yeah, can Kojima basically like kind of sit back, be patient, and just kind of just drive it in, just hone in on what he needs to do here.
Yep.
Because Toa's really good at getting in people's head, it seems. Yeah. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Yeah, so much pride.
Oh shit, Jacob. Oh shit.
You know, a great pitcher would also know to maybe walk the cleanup, you know?
Yeah, he's messing with him.
Yeah.
Because he could consistently hit the same spot every single time in the previous episode.
Yep.
So he is Well, that was...
ストライクが取れないんじゃ勝負は決まったも同然だね。
決まったも同然ね。
高い完全なボール球だ。勝負あった。なぜわざと見送ればボールになる球を。
多分ギャラリーが全員トアにかけたからさ。
全員が？
そう。小島にとってはこの上ない屈辱。
It's a pride thing.
Shit.
自分の力を見せつけなきゃならない。
Gotcha.
He has to be like, I'm the pro,
the best.
Hit it. Yeah,
hell,
I'm better than all of you.
This might be why he was never able to like get a championship, you know?
Yeah, he wants to look the coolest, not necessarily.
Feeding his ego and like, making sure he's riled up.
Wow. Wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Everyone in the crowd is in on it too.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Shit. He got played.
Yeah, he can't win now.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't matter what he pitches here.
Right.
Oh, man. It's like gamer tunneling saltiness, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's switched. He's not throwing the four seam anymore. Oh, is he alternating what kind of pitch he's doing as he's holding the ball? Because he's like thinking about what to do?
Maybe?
Looks basic. It's not a knuckleball.
Looks like it's something that's gonna sink, though. Oh, that's a ball.
Whoa. Wait. Right down the middle.
それが小島の最大の敗因だよ。
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because he's been throwing 120 kilometers an hour, so he throws one that's like 90 kilometers an hour, and the guy's like, hey.
満身思いやられ
Damn. He got
東
taken
亜はそんな小
apart.
島の
Yeah.
潜在意識を見逃さなかった。そしてそこにつけ込んだ。
Yeah, pretty much every single thing that Kojima did reinforced that
Right.
that image.
Uh-huh.
1球目の冒頭を見て、東亜が動揺して
And
い
can
る
you
と思い込
imagine
む
how
そして徐々に
amazingly
定まってき
effective
た
this would be
コントロール
in a
と
game setting?
勢いを増してきた球威に
I mean,
6球目
like,
で力が
yeah,
なくなったボールが
but it
来ると
has a
確
little
信
bit
し
of
た
a first introductory kind of
Sure.
effort. So
Yeah, people would start to adjust to the things that he does.
yeah,
決め
sure,
球は
but
何も直球や鋭い変化球だけとは限らない。おごり切った小島を打ち取るにはあれで十分なんだよ。
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, and here, oh no,
Oh, damn.
ふざけやがって向こうだこんな
Oh,
の
he's a
は
real sore loser.
oh,
あん
oh,
た俺に野球を舐めてるって言ったなねえビッグママ
Big Mama. Oh,
あの東亜って男は
One Piece.
本当に
Wedding
今まで一度も打たれたことないのか
そう球速は130キロに満たない
Doesn't even
変
know
化
any
球など
breaking
全く
ball.
投げられ
Really?
ない男
Like even I know how to throw a breaking ball. I'm not good at it, but I can do it. Like
何百回も東亜の勝負を見てきたけど本当にこの男は人の心が読めるんじゃないかって
yeah, body language, cold read,
Uh-huh.
you know.
少なくとも
Introduce stimuli, see how they react to
本人には見えない
it.
ものが
Yeah.
奴には見えているはずよ。速い
Honestly,
球が投げられる。
That was a thing for a few like specific baseball players back
そ
in
り
the
ゃそれ
day
で
Yeah.
もちろんすごいことだわ
when。the sport was a lot more scrappy.
本当にいいピッチャーに必要な条件はそんなことじゃない。最も必要なのはタフなスピリッ
Yeah,
Okay.
ト。
nice. And now we can bring this into a show. Oh, yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
okay.
That yes.
ギャンブ
mhm.
ルで
So is he an addict
あ
then?
る前に
Maybe?
最強の勝負
I
師
would say
なんだよ。
no because if he has a strong spirit, then he's not an addict. He's
Right,
probably
he'd
just
know to be in control of that.
Right,
That
and
would
then-
that would have been the first thing he had to defeat, right?
right.
あの時
Is he focused or is he?
息苦しいほどの圧迫感を感じた
And what kind of focus?
全てを見透かされているかのような恐怖
Okay.
あいつ
So-
に勝とうと思うなら
Yeah.
ただ一つ
It looks like he started to accept it. Like this isn't like a going into his own little bubble, you know?
Yeah.
勝ちたいもう一度勝負して初めてだこんな思い21年間のプロ生活の中でこんなにも勝ちたいと思ったの
Oh, maybe that's why he hasn't gotten
Sure.
a championship sometimes.
勝つだ Oh my god
Oh my god!
重要なブラフにワンペアで突っ張るか相手が悪いぜこいつにはみんな
So did Toa actually like flip over his hand afterwards to mock the guy? Like
No, sometimes you're forced,
forced
to
to
declare
reveal,
your hand
yeah.
depending on the rules.
oh right, because other people that stayed in the game or something.
Yeah.
もう一度勝負させてくれと頼みに来たか
その通りだその上で頼むもう一度勝負をしてくれ
These people are all
こん
ready
な
to
こ
be
とを
like,
申し出ること自体が
we're gonna
勝
kick
負
him
師
out.
のお前には失礼だと思う
Damn, he's being so respectful.
これを波の賭けにはしない次の勝負に俺の選手生命をかける俺が負けたら即引退
Shit.
二度とバットは振らない
マジかよ
That
Well,
because you took him apart before.
yeah. What if you win?
俺が引退
Come play for my team.
お前が負けたら賭け野球から足を洗っても
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna lose.
Like,
俺がそんな約
Because
束
that's what was
守る
wagered?
どこにもないぞおそらく俺はお前の見てない
Right,
と
you
ころ
could.
でまたやるさ
いややらせない二度と賭け野球ができないよう
Oh.
貴様のこの
oh shit.
むちゃくちゃじゃないですか引退をかけるだなんて冷静になってください小島さんにはまだやり残していることがあるでしょう
そ
All
し
right,
てよ
Netero.
うやく見えてきたんだ
Have you
Well,
been
that-
praying though?
Right.
You should start that too. Yeah.
And I'm sure the muscles are similar, but will that actually help you hit the ball?
Nah, this is a mental thing. This is all entirely mental.
Sure.
What am I doing here? What are any of us doing here?
Oh, that's right. Meaning of life by Guts.
あと一本これで超えられる あの男を超えられる。
Maybe keep your eyes open though.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh yep, yep.
くそ、これが俺の弱さなのか。
Shit! This is why you use 2 hands.
Yeah.
Man. Oh,
And why you keep your eyes open
God.
the whole time.
because you support the other hand with that in case you oh.
Oh, sure.
No.
Right, because yeah, for a second I was like, how did that injure his arm? But
Oh yeah.
right, that was accumulated over the time of
Well, not just that. No, it's just the idea that if you miss your strike going that hard, yeah, you can really mess things up.
雨で肩が冷えてる。
Wipe it for me because I can't do it.
2、3球放らしてもらうぞ。
構わんよ。
大丈夫なんすか、小島さんの右手。いや、痛み止めでごまか
I
して
hope they're whispering plenty quiet.
全く返せない。
そんな。じゃあなんで止め
Yeah,
な
and
かったん
he's
すか。
left-handed.
延期してくれって頼めなかったんすか。
そんな軽々しい勝負じゃないんだよ。
Toa's just gonna see them panicking and know something's up.
I mean, they could be panicking about.
Sure,
Oh,
just
wow.
the stakes. Gotcha.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already got him figured out.
Like, theoretically, that could mean anything because he's left-handed, you know? But probably the use is right.
Oh, it's way more convenient.
そ
Yeah.
うは思わない。少なくともあの人は勝つ気でいる。無理ですよ、こんな状態じゃ。
俺はそうは思わない。むしろ勝機が広がったと見る。理由は2つ。一つは自分の弱さを知ることができたこと。しかしそれは知っておくべきことだったのだ。少なくとも今の俺は弱さを自覚していなかった頃の自分より
The technical.
迷いを消せることだ。生地選択肢があるから人間は迷うのだ。
Oh.
今
Okay.
の俺には外角球しかない。
Direct, though, that's something he could probably mess with too.
I would bait the outside pitch by opening up his
心を
position.
無にして
Oh,
Put
sure.
his right foot
最低3
um
球。必ず奴は1球は外角
pivoted back out.
必ず。
Yeah, no.
1球目。
Yeah, and he's gonna throw it
Definitely.
inside. He's gonna throw inside. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. When he threw 3 balls at the beginning of the last round. Like,
打ち気を見せた方が良かったんじゃないですか。じゃないと外角に誘えない。
No.
あれでいいんだ。
you'd probably be able to see that something was off if he swung.
Uh-huh.
に
Yeah.
は通じない。
Yeah.
Yeah. This is game over.
城崎さん。
But
大丈夫だ。
I really want Kojima to win here.
外角狙いは
Like-
取られていない。
Physical battle
これでいい
now.
んだ。これで。相当ひどいな。
Yeah, now he just says it. Just try and get to him. Yeah.
あんた、勝負の前に俺にボール投げ返しただろ。わざわざぬかるんだ地面にバットを置いた。
Ah.
濡れたグリップをトレーナーに吹かせるあんたなら。
Yeah, it's
Oh,
counterintuitive.
yeah. Okay, nice.
普通だと思うんだけどな。
Right, if he had, like, asked him to wipe down the bat again after, you know, then it might have seemed like nothing,
勝
but...
負は始まっていたんだよ。次も行くぜ。内角高め。打てるはずだろう。引退をかけた男なら。
Shit.
Open up
Yeah, you have to hit it.
your position.
However you do it, you have to hit it.
そして運命の3球目。
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Yeah.
That-
So this is the power of Toa, is actually
Yeah.
just being able to read people really well.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, as he sees things that are inconsistent with, you know, what a normal person would be doing here, since he's probably thrown, you know, tons and tons of batters out in this one-outs game.
Yep.
He knows what the kind of things are to look for. And
Right.
even if this guy's a professional, which means he has to take it extremely seriously, he's still a pro gambler too. He knows what kinds of systems he needs to rely on in order to make sure that he's guaranteed the highest chance of winning.
And
but it's still a
Kojima-
gamble.
It's still a gamble, but
It's still a
Kojima
gamble.
is not a gambler, and he will have tells. as an example,
Yep.
right? Before, yeah, he was being totally arrogant and looking down on
Yep.
him and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Now, his tell is he is so focused, right?
Mm-hmm.
Toa can probably tell that even if he doesn't know that he like went into the mountains or whatever,
Right, right.
he would probably know like, oh, okay, I really got to him before. He had some dark night of the soul.
Right.
He is that stuff. That Kojima is gone, but
Right. So now I need to look for like the classic things of like, is there any weakness I can exploit? Anything at all? It's like, well, okay, his mental game is on point. Let's look for the
Right.
physical one. Wait a minute, that's an inconsistency.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a really high inside pitch to confirm this theory.
right. And I almost,
Okay.
I almost feel like at the beginning, the thing of the could you get the ball for me? It could have been something of like, I get the feeling he might be favoring the hand, and and like,
well, it's a pride thing as well.
well,
He's
right,
testing
but,
to see if
no,
he has.
exactly, yeah. It's a pride thing of, have you really grown that much?
Exactly.
Will you pick up my ball and throw it back to me, right? For someone like me, right? You
Yeah.
the pro cleanup hitter, right?
I also think that they're setting up something where he's like, I have a bit of a this is a bit of a thing that might not be the case as much with newer baseballs, but I don't know exactly what year this is. But this is some potentially giga 5-head brain shit. So Jacob, did you know how much water baseballs can retain? Not a lot.
No, I didn't.
No, but generally speaking, baseballs are hollow, like leather and stuff like that. They have like a coating or what have you on the
Okay.
outside, then they have this leather bit in the middle.
Gotcha.
But if your baseball is old, that shell is a bit torn and worn,
All right.
basically,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
separated. The way he was throwing the free pitches and having it land in the muddy water
Mm-hmm.
was a way of potentially setting up to where the ball would then be a bit trickier to hit cleanly
Gotcha.
without it having some slickness.
Uh-huh.
Now,
Okay.
I don't think that's what's being set up here, but I think the idea of him being like, oh, he's like, wipe my bat, and he's like, oh, okay, and I'm gonna make the ball dirty then.
Sure. Yeah.
Just in case.
So there were
if he
some.
does hit it, but it then might just be a grounder,
Mhm.
and then it's over.
One of the things that I'm curious with how they'll handle it in this show is how much they'll go into like the really specific details, because
I think that'll be later.
I think that'll be later.
For
Yeah.
now, we're keeping it simple.
Right, and which totally makes sense because
a better
your
way-
audience might not know much about baseball.
It's a
so
better way to introduce Toa.
It's a better way to introduce Toa, and we're not even introducing baseball as a game yet.
Nope.
Just in case you don't know baseball, no, we're just doing this thing where it's just pitching and batting, right?
Yeah,
That's it.
everyone understands there's a thing coming at you and you need to hit it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What
3
kind of
strikes, 4
mechanics-
balls. Okay.
Yeah, what kind of mechanics are needed in order to physically hit the ball? Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
But one of the things I wanted to ask you about,
Yeah.
because this could be something of a difference with the 1-outs in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So with the batting zone, right?
Yeah.
It's knees to chest. But
Yeah,
then
knees to nips, basically.
right,
Yeah.
and then over the plate, right?
yeah.
But what I'm curious about is, it's when the ball crosses the plate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when it counts.
Right.
In this
If
situation,
if the ball lands on a plate, it's not a strike.
right.
It
But
has
yeah,
to actually cross the threshold of the plate. Yeah.
right. And it's at the point when it starts to cross the plate that it counts of where it is in the batting zone, right?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I think it's actually where it has
Well-
it is where it enters the, so if the plate has a zone on the bottom that goes up
Right.
and it crosses that field at the point where it would be in the strike zone and then it continues lower, I am not 100% sure if it would remain a strike.
Well, because what I'm wondering is not if it goes lower, but in baseball you have an umpire in order to basically see, is it actually something where it's a strike, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't have a box on the back because it's about where the plate is, and so you need someone to basically call the shots, right?
Yeah, what's your thing? I'm
My
not
point
getting what
is that with the final throw in the match at the beginning, it looked like it was a ball at first, and then it dropped down and it was a perfect dead center with the box on the back of the backdrop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's something where that might be different for 1-outs versus baseball, because in a gambling game, you can't have an umpire because then that could be biased, right?
Sure.
So something that wouldn't look like a strike originally to someone who is used to playing regular baseball.
No, I think that's getting too much into undermining the point of what this whole thing is about.
Gotcha.
Meta level wise, I don't think that works. I think that's a problem on multiple levels. But no, the main problem as to why this doesn't work in regular baseball is that Toa is far too fucking close to the plate. If he was actually 90 feet away, it would be hilarious to watch him every once in a while struggle to actually reach home plate with his throws.
Especially with, like, say, a slow ball, for instance.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But not just that. The arc that it would travel in order to reach the plate would be larger. It would be more of a slope.
And then Kojima would probably be able to react to it or something like that, or it'd be easier to, maybe.
Well, maybe it would be easier to, but really, no, with how good Kojima is in terms of his, pedigree of skills and his many years of baseball, the 20 or 30 extra feet that Toa is closer to him doesn't really matter. Because unless the guy was throwing, 85 plus miles an hour, it's not gonna matter.
I was more meaning from the standpoint of if there's more time than he might realize, oh shit, this is a weird different throw. Okay. Odd, but all right, I'll hit it.
Sure. There is definitely a timing thing that could be messed up a little bit with regards to not just the fact that Toa is throwing slower, but also the distance, and then the fact that this is not a usual, field setup.
Right. But it's something where I'm curious to see how the show gets into the exact details of the potential mechanics of like the games
later,
and stuff.
I think.
And yeah.
For now, we're focused really on this idea of the mental battle that Toa is a master manipulator with regards to getting inside people's heads. And they brought up the idea that there's two kind of angles to this. One is it feels like he can read people's minds. But two, and this is the part that is even more important than that, he has the indomitable gambler's spirit, which is something that I remember my dad actually talking to me about when he would go to Vegas, is that he basically would have to tell himself specifically, once he had done his system and actually netted a win, he had to leave. Because once he had netted the win, it didn't matter whether he won $2 or $200. He had to leave because if he kept going, the odds would go back into the house's favor.
Right.
Almost guaranteed, no matter what he was playing, unless it was obviously something like poker or blackjack, where it's a little bit more likely that you can win compared to something like something
slot machines or something.
Well, I'm thinking more like craps or something.
Oh,
where
gotcha.
It's way closer to
right, throwing the dice. Yeah,
just throwing the dice.
Right, and he actually had a story, and you hear about the pro people that run the tables, right? That specifically will try and like do little things to keep the people there and make it so that they keep gambling past maybe when they should.
For sure.
That way they don't keep their winnings.
Which is why in some ways Toa is so strong, I would say, is that he's not playing like a person, he's playing like the house. So he's devised his system, and then he looks for tells as to tell himself, well, this is the system, version or variant that I will use here. And poker, as he was playing, it might have been 5-draw or 2 or hold'em or what have you. It's against a person, so he absolutely has.
That's where he cleans up, especially.
That's probably the easiest way if you're a professional. I've seen some very, very cool things happen when professional poker players basically play. And you can see basically the points in which a professional will start to just become mentally so exhausted that it physically is they're not capable of maintaining that composure because they've been playing for 6 hours, you know? And it's the kind of thing where like a chess player or what have you will burn so many calories playing chess.
Right, when they're not physically
perfectly still.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And it's like there's enormous amounts of like energy and effort being put into just maintaining your own composure and your own mental and physical spirit. So having that be a baseball thing is really cool, and having it be one for the pitcher and the batter is where the most, if any, any psychological battle actually happens. Other than the one that I'm actually the most interested in them getting into, which is base stealing. and being
Yes.
a batter on base. That is the other part where you can fuck with the pitcher,
Mhm.
and the pitcher really, really has to be very good in order to not get phased by that, or to fuck back with the runner, the
Right.
base runner.
Bait them out and and things like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can do all kinds of shit. Like I know all about balk rules in baseball. There's basically ways you can move your feet on the mound, and if you don't move it that way, if you move it the illegal ways, batter immediately goes to sorry, not the batter. The runner takes a free base.
Oh shit.
Like you fuck that up, and the batter is basically not the batter. The base runner is trying to get you to do that.
Gotcha.
Right.
That's interesting.
It's really
Okay.
it's really cool. And if you look at old school baseball players and stuff like that back before this meta was really established, you'd see all kinds of dirty shit being played by the
Yeah.
base runners to try and get in pitchers' heads.
Those were the stories that always excited me the most about baseball is when it'd be like, oh, this person just realized something about the sport, right? That most people hadn't caught on to yet,
For sure.
because there was maybe so much pride surrounding and stuff of like, oh,
Totally.
this is the way that baseball is played, and then someone's like, wait, what if it was done a bit differently, right? And then
Yeah.
it gets flipped on its head, and then suddenly the meta changes, and
Yeah, my team that I followed was the Mariners, right? And Jamie Moyer, who you might actually know about,
name sounds familiar.
name sounds familiar, right? Was a starter pitcher, and he threw 80 miles an hour.
Wow.
And he threw sometimes like 67 to 71 mile an hour breaking balls.
Was he the one who had like that killer knuckleball in like specifically? I remember like in some of the stories that I would
He
hear.
might have thrown some knuckleballs, but no, knuckleballs aren't really they're not as big of a thing in major
Gotcha.
leagues. That's more of a lower leagues kind of thing.
Okay.
It's more just the fastball changeup alternating.
Gotcha.
But the idea of like having a player who throws slow but is actually really annoying to like
Right.
getting in the heads. Jamie Moyer is a modern example of this guy.
Gotcha.
So there's examples of this that are less extreme, but where a player was like a major league starting pitcher. Like he was not the relief pitcher
Right.
or the closer. He was the guy that threw 90 pitches in the first 4 innings or 5 innings or 6 innings or what have you. And he'd be like, "Yep, okay, I did my part, and I'm out." And it's
and
like,
so-
wait, there are little league pitchers that throw faster than him.
Right.
It's like, yep, Yep.
Now, so I don't know as much of the baseball terminology, so this will be kind of fun. But a breaking ball is basically just a non-fastball?
horizontal or vertical. Basically, it's not straight movement. Basically,
Gotcha,
It
right.
has to. Breaking generally means that it either goes out and away. So away means it goes away from you, and in is towards you. Basically,
Right.
And those are generally where most breaking balls go. There are balls that sink, basically, like balls that'll intentionally go down, but those are more specifically based on how they alternate the speed of
Gotcha.
the pitch, not really trying to intentionally make it arc down or what have you.
Okay. Because one of the things that I also thought was really interesting here is that we found out that Toa apparently doesn't know any breaking balls.
Nope.
And that's probably one of the biggest things that makes me want Kojima to win.
Sure.
Because like if Kojima wins, but he's like, no, I am claiming your right hand, but I'm not like breaking it. Like it's your right hand is gonna come work for me, right?
Right.
Like that's how what I think would just be so cool is that he
Yeah.
somehow like out gambles Toa, but then Toa is able to learn all these crazy new ways to throw the ball. And if he was able to do this much just with fast and slow balls,
Sure.
basically, then what would he do when suddenly it's like, yeah, here's 8 new ways to throw the ball, right?
The other way that this could go is that this is a thing where Kojima doesn't learn necessarily, even if he does hit the ball. It's something where then he's now been hurt. His team can't utilize him
Sure.
for the amount of time. He utilized his pride, basically, because really, like his career is a big deal, right?
Oh yeah.
Like it's a huge deal.
I was almost like wondering if they were going to bring up the idea of like, I'll quit baseball as soon as my current contract is up. It goes out at the end of this season or something like that,
Sure. But the idea that Toa could be someone that would actually be the maybe the one that takes the team to the championship and it's not him.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Like, is it more important that he gets the championship and he takes the team to the championship?
Right, or just that the team goes to the
team goes to the
championship.
championship,
Right.
yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, because
Because that's the thing. I just want to say, he doesn't have to necessarily be a hitter. He could come on as like an assistant coach.
That's true. Well, and even if he does come on as a hitter, maybe it's something where it's like, shit, I can't play for like the first 20 games of the season or something, or I don't know how many games are in a baseball season, but like because he's recovering, you know, and then Toa comes in and like helps offset the balance or something like that, and then he comes back in later. But also with regards to the pride thing, like you were saying, why is he actually doing this game with Toa? Because yes, I love the idea that he's like, I've never actually wanted to beat someone so badly.
So he just desires this.
Right, he just
wants
desires
this.
it.
Yeah.
That could be just the love of the game, right? You know, but it could also be a pride thing, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you could just be like, good one, you got me. I lost. Right.
And I think he would do that if he actually lost here. He'd be like, okay, fine. No, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was an idiot for doing this, you know, chopping wood thing with one hand.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and like it could totally be something where Kojima isn't actually one of the main characters of the show.
Yep.
And this is just a surprise. This is how we set up Toa, but through the perspective of Kojima, this guy whose career is ruined by him, right?
Yeah, Kojima becomes the villain.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, anything could happen. Toa could, you know, then move on to some other team or whatever. Or like he ends up getting a taste for playing against professionals.
The
you know?
trainer then talks to him and is like, hey, so if I give you a connection here,
Right.
would you be interested in playing professional baseball?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to, you know, set you up with like a AA or a AAA or whatever their equivalent in Japan is, you know,
Right.
league or something like that. But
Mhm.
just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless, however Toa gets involved in the greater baseball scene,
Mm-hmm.
because he's going to. We
Right.
saw him
It's
at
in the
least
OP,
throwing
yeah.
to a Brooklyn, you know, baseball, you know,
Mhm.
player. It's going to rattle the batting cages, if you will.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. He
And
will
I'm
he will make a
excited for
splash for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. Yeah, that's I mean, we feel like we're still in like a prologue of sorts.
Right. Like I kind of expected it to be like, because I didn't think there was going to be some second matchup, right? I thought it was going to be decided with the one, you know? Makes sense that there would be a rematch. But like, okay, in thriller fashion, we don't actually get to see it resolve here, right?
No.
Because got to tune in for the next episode, and then it'll probably be like the first 3 minutes is the resolution of it, and then the next 18 or 21 is just the
next
okay
bit of the story.
yeah, what's the direction that the story's going to take, you know, and all that. But
All right.
yeah,
Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. All of this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
we stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time.